Hello everyone, this is Maki. The 11th episode of GQuuuuuX will be released soon. What kind of events will unfold at the climax of the story? In a past interview, Mr. Kenshi Yonizu, who did the opening theme song, mentioned I was told everything about the story to create the music. The ending made me laugh without thinking. I'm curious to know what kind of twist made him laugh like that. Could the characters from GQuuuuuX appear in the original 0079 designs? It might sound like a joke, but there's actually some basis for it. One of Studio Color's most well-known works, which is leading the production of GQuuuuuX, is the Evangelion series. In the final scene of the last movie, they suddenly switched from animation to live-action footage. They've chosen to use visuals that are completely different from anything shown up to that point before. Alright, today I'd like to analyze a few interesting points from episode 10. There are still so many things I'm curious about. Let me make a quick announcement. On my channel, I accept support through membership. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and comment stamps. Now, let's begin the analysis. First, let's take a look at Nyaan's combat record. Some fans even believe that Nyaan achieved one of the highest kill counts in the entire Gundam series. Honestly, that sounds plausible, doesn't it? Setting aside special cases like Tane Ganamod Dar Gundam, her record might indeed rank among the best in Gundam history. So exactly how much damage did Nyaan cause? I counted 47 battleships at the space fortress of Baku in episode 10 of GQuuuuuX. Of course, this is just a visual count, so it might not be perfectly accurate. Also, there must have been more battleships docked inside the fortress itself, so the actual number is probably higher. In the Universal Century world, there are two comparable cases. The first is the solar ray used by Giren Zobi in the original 0079. The Io which appears in GQuuuuuX, is said to be a modified version of the solar ray. The second case is the Gundam prototype Unit 2 that appeared in 0083. It destroyed a huge number of Earth's Federation battleships with its nuclear bazooka. Now let's examine how many ships were destroyed by the solar ray under Giren Zobi's command. I'm analyzing the numbers from the book Tactical Strategy Encyclopedia. Surprisingly, the exact number isn't specified. It only states that 1/3 of the forces heading to Baku were lost. How many battleships participated in the Baku assault operation? A total of 116 combat ships took part. Based on this, the solar ray destroyed 58 ships. Whether Nyaan surpassed Mr. Giren Zobi's record depends on how many ships were inside the space fortress. However, the fact that she completely destroyed the fortress itself is hugely significant. Which commander do you think achieved a greater result, Nyaan or Giren? Giren merely ordered the firing of the solar ray, while Nyaan carried out her attack alone. Thus, the standards for evaluation may differ. However, Nyaan's weapon was designed and built by many engineers. It would be inaccurate to call this an achievement she achieved alone. Ultimately, how to judge this is up to each viewer. Another example is the Earth's Federation Fleet Review Raid that occurred in 0083. It was carried out by the Deer's fleet, a renowned force of Zeon. The raid was carried out with the Gundam prototype Unit 2, which was piloted by ace pilot Anavel Gato. The exact number of battleships destroyed in this incident is unknown. Judging from the smug expression on Earth's Federation Commander Greenwild's face and the large number shown in the anime, it's reasonable to assume that the fleet equal to or larger than those lost during the war was assembled. Of course, this is just an assumption. If you add up the number of battleships lost to Gerenzobi's solar ray, and at about Ku, it comes to 174 ships. Meanwhile, over 2/3 of the ships at the fleet review lost their navigation capability due to Gato's attack. Simple math suggests that 116 ships were neutralized by Gato's strike. Therefore, there's a chance that Gato surpassed Nyaan's count. As I mentioned earlier, this depends on factors such as how many battleships were inside the space fortress and how much value you place on the fact that the fortress itself was destroyed. Who do you think achieved a greater result, Nyaan or Gato? After the attack, the Gundam prototype Unit 2 lost its nuclear warhead. Since only one warhead was loaded, this was inevitable. On the other hand, Nyaan can continue attacking. Her continued combat capability and threat to enemy forces are also important points to consider when evaluating this. By the way, Nyaan's destruction of a large number of Zeon battleships and the space fortress could have created a serious situation for GQuuuuuuX as well. In episode 10, there's a line suggesting that the Earth's Federation hasn't given up on ruling space. Could Zeon's loss of military power actually spark the Earth's Federation's determination to make a comeback? Let's check the number of Zeon battleships listed in the Tactical Strategy Encyclopedia. According to the encyclopedia, 46 battleships participated in the Battle of Baku. This number includes the two massive Dolls-class carriers. As I mentioned at the beginning of this program, I counted 47 battleships. Therefore, the number of battleships in episode 10 of GQuuuuuX is extremely close to the number in historical sources. You can really feel the staff's dedication here. It's also recorded that most of Zeon's space power had already been lost in the Battle of the Space Fortress Solomon, which occurred before the Battle of Baku. In the GQuuuuuX world, the Space Fortress Solomon was also defeated by the Earth's Federation. Consequently, almost all of Zeon's remaining forces gathered at Baku. Due to GQuuuuuuX and Nyaan, the Zeon forces have nearly been wiped out. If the Earth's Federation plans to attack Zeon again, they definitely won't miss this opportunity. Will Nyaan and GQuuuuuuX be able to defeat the Earth's Federation forces? Lastly, I'd like to share some official information about Io Magnusso's next target. It may be surprising, but it's written in the story summary on the official website. It says the target is all of humanity on Earth. GQuuuuuuX anticipated that after wiping out Geren's forces, the Earth's Federation would become the next enemy. But what kind of attack does all of Earth's humanity imply? If they were to destroy Earth, the space colonies would also suffer enormous chaos due to disrupted gravity. Space colonies are set up at Lagrange points, which are calculated to balance the gravity of Earth and the Moon. If Earth were to collapse, people living in space would be affected too. Now, Machu is taking action to stop this attack on all of Earth's humanity. While this move saves countless lives, it also buys valuable time for the Earth's Federation to attack Zeon. Could we be heading into a three-way war, like in the climax of Zeta Gundam? Let's look forward to finding out. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you in the next program.